Welcome to your Sanity Safe Space with your favorite YouTube podcast duo.
Skag3, whoever he is.
Get your porn fascist ass out of here!
Saving the millennial generation in weekly installments.
You are a terrific team on all counts.
Live from a castle tower and his mother's basement, this is the Matt and Blonde Show.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pursue.
Hey, why the fuck is the gas so high, bitch?
Trump on Truth Social yesterday wrote, quote, "They never went after those that rigged the election. They only went after those that fought to find the riggers." A word that I'm not particularly familiar with. Riggers.
Rigger, please.
With Trump, you don't need to look for a dog whistle. It's a bullhorn when it comes to race, and I do think that's deliberate. When you saw the courtroom, it was a lot of black men and women who were serving in that courtroom. The fact that he's introducing race into this prosecution surprises me. It's disgusting. It's textbook Donald Trump, but it comes as no surprise.
What the is this?
Donald Trump using the term riggers, which clearly rhymes with the N-word, to identify with blatant racism and blatant violence is not the party that we need.
I doubt it.
You are fake news.
The N-word. You know what the N-word is?
Very fake news.
I can't believe that someone would have so much hate in their heart.
It's not against the law. Oh, fuck you.
Well, it's not my concern.
Let's go, Brandon!
That's a big game, man.
All right, America, go to the YouTube right now.
Big ups to Rebecca for keeping Matt woke. Congratulations to both of you. You're awesome.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
Hello and welcome to the show. It is a great show. It is a terrific show. It is a tremendous show, frankly. The very best. You can ask anyone about that. People often do. I'm told this is the Matt and Blonde Show. My name is Matt Christensen. I am flanked.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a wonderful day, as always, as usual, and as you know. So, I was supposed to do this video last night. Been feeling a little under the weather, but the show must go on. I've got another video kind of excited about I'm working on that I'm going to release today, hopefully, as well. So this is my favorite podcast, bar none. I listen to Timcast, I listen to Ben Shapiro, I listen to Michael Knowles, I listen to Michael Malice, I listen to Dave Smith, I listen to people I hate, I listen to Secular Talk, Kyle Kulinski. But this is my favorite podcast. Always is. Always fucking... See, Tim Cat, he put out a video. Yeah, I'll probably watch that later. But this, bar none, no matter what, I watch it every Sunday. And it doesn't get better. So, today we're going to be talking about the hilariousness of Donald Trump and politics, and obviously the GOP debate is coming up. So, we'll get into that. And Matt and Blonde have the floor today, as usual, on Sundays. And this is critical base theory. So, let's get into the hilarity and the just craziness of politics in our country. This should be fun. Yeah.
All don't want their tax dollars going to this type of political persecution. He's referring to Trump. So, and then if it turns out that she's doing some corrupt things, then we should absolutely impeach her.
So what it sounds like he's trying to do, now that I hear this in more detail, it sounds like he's trying to potentially grab onto, perhaps foolishly, some sort of Democrat or left-wing support if he's...
No, he's trying to fundraise off of it, dude. I heard about this. He's sign the petition and donate to my campaign. It's like, this is pure... Whatever. I mean, someone should do it. I don't give a fuck if they're fundraising off of it, but I'm just saying he's fundraising off of doing this. And I mean, fuck what's happening. This is political. I mean, we have crossed the Rubicon. Like, we have shat the bed, jumped the shark. Everything is fucked. The Democrats think they're not going to jail after this. I mean, God, Trump has to go to jail at this point because he already said, I get back, I'm the president. Yeah, you're all going to jail. And they know it. So they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Trump. But anyway, there's some state representative, I don't know if he's in the state senate or house or Georgia, who is trying to pull the funding from the office that's prosecuting Trump in Georgia in Fulton County. But he's campaigning off
an
of
ACLU cause,
An ACLU
saying,
cause,
"Look how mean she was
Looking
to
for
this
campaign
rapper,
donations.
Young Thug." Don't you guys love Young Thug?
Don't you love Young Thug? Yeah.
I doubt that he's going to be successful in that, but
It's
that
so
makes
smart,
more sense.
right?
He's trying to build a broader coalition of support for this move, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an Olinsky
Well-
tactic. I like it.
I mean, you can make that argument, but you.
Yeah, I know. People on the right need to, like, they don't read left-wing literature. I've read it all, dude. I used to be on the left. I read all their books, and, like, a lot of it is useful. Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky. You'd be like, fuck Saul Alinsky, fuck him, he's a fucking communist. Like, yeah, but he wrote a really good book, talks about political tactics, and the right should take notice of it and start using it themselves. I mean, if everything's just going to go to hell and we're going to burn it all to the ground anyway, I mean, why not use the successful tactics of your enemy? Make your opponents follow their own rules, which no one can do. Like, it's smart. But, okay.
Could also, I mean, there's the argument that what he's saying
rule
may
number
actually
5?
be true. I have not investigated those claims, but there's also the argument that if you guys want grasping at every legal straw available to oust your political enemies, you are the ones who opened this
We can
door.
do
So
that too.
yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, we will do it. That's the thing. The Democrats think this
Which
isn't going to
brings
happen
us
to
to
them.
the rigor
They're
comment.
mistaken.
God. I knew they were going to go full retard with this.
There is like some level of
this
sincerity.
is politics, and this is what Donald Trump brings to politics, which just makes it fun and interesting. And like, they get into like DeSantis and talking about DeSantis, and it's like, I like DeSantis. Like, I always have. Like, I was like, during the lockdowns, I was like, damn, fucking. And I'm in Texas, so you know it was kind of the same. But a lot of the country, like, they were just Orwellian dog shit. You couldn't go to a restaurant unless you had your papers and shit. And I looked at like where I was living, you know, Abbott did a good job, DeSantis was doing a good job, and it was like still America, and there wasn't the goddamn police state running around saying you can't go to this restaurant because you didn't get your goddamn. Anyway, all of you can relate to that. I don't know. I know a lot of people hate DeSantis, and I'm just like, why? He'd probably be a better candidate than Trump. Like, he tried to sell himself as like Trump without all the baggage, and like, there's something to that, but it's just not working. It's not working, and like, I'm not gonna shit on the guy, dude. So many people in MAGA, and I'm MAGA. I'm a Trump guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want to see Trump back in the White House. I know Trump is genuine, and what he's going to do, and dark MAGA is like what I want to see. But like, realistically, I kind of agree with Ben Shapiro. Like, probably not the greatest. Like, and it seems like it elevates Trump in the primaries. Like, Trump is elevated by these indictments among Republican voters, and I can understand why. I get it. Like, it is political persecution, prosecution. I mean, it couldn't be more blatant. They're going to start his court date the day before Super Tuesday in Georgia. It's like, yeah. But, like, all of this might, like, not really work out. And you might get another 4 years of Joe Biden. God help us. I mean, again, like, don't get me wrong. I'm a Trump guy. But it's just, Trump is so fun. I mean, he's got set the internet on fire because he used the word riggers. Riggers, YouTube. There's no N in there. It is a hard R. But this is like Donald Trump. This fucking guy. Teflon Don, fucking
Sincerity to the rigor commentary beyond just the silliness. Because, of course, another route Trump has in Georgia is just winning the case outright and getting acquitted. And one way to do that would be to demonstrate that there was no criminal conspiracy. Why wasn't there a criminal conspiracy? Because, theoretically, there was a valid and sincere belief that election fraud had happened. And indeed, if they're able to produce it, good evidence that it had.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, the prosecution is ridiculous in the sense that you're trying to get inside of Trump's intent in mind. You're saying, no, he knew that he lost the election and he just committed, like, it's like, no. I don't think anyone believes that. I think Donald Trump, he sincerely thinks that he won that election. Or, you know, and I could argue, like, the mail-in ballots and the COVID, and there's all sorts of things, like the state legislatures not changing the laws to vote in Pennsylvania. I mean, there's so many fucking things, and there's just the ridiculous amount of votes, and I don't know, man. It was a crazy ass time. But if you seriously think that Donald Trump thinks he lost that election, I don't think anyone thinks that. I think the Democrats think that Donald Trump thinks he won. I think it's just hard for me to believe that there's like an ounce in Donald Trump's body that thinks that he lost that election, and he doesn't think it was rigged. And you could say cheating, you could say rigged, you can say whatever, but like Donald Trump has set the internet on fire yet again with his truth post or whatever they call it, with this comment, and the reaction is just priceless. It's like, of course, you got the usual culprits coming out, the race hustlers and the race baiters. You got Al Sharpton very upset. God, get that man a Kleenex.
So on Tuesday, this is the context for the new term. Trump posted on Truth Social that this coming Monday, as in tomorrow the 21st, he would host a press conference to release a detailed and irrefutable report on Georgia election fraud. And
it's probably not wise for him to do that while he's going to court. Like, but Donald Trump, I mean, never listens to his fucking lawyers, but here he did. He was talking about a press conference. I'm going to show the world why I'm right in Georgia. And it's kind of smart on his idea because, like, they're trying to prove the intent that he knew he lost. And he's just saying, no, I won. It was rigged. I was stolen, whatever term he wants to use. But it's like the idea that you're going to get inside Donald Trump's head and figure out intent when the man, I just don't believe that he thinks that he lost like, whatever you think, whatever I think, whatever. Like, the 2020 election was fucking weird. But the idea, like, whatever you think, getting inside Donald Trump's head and trying to get intent from a man that just every time he opens his mouth is talking about the 2020 election, when most of us are like, please stop talking about this. This isn't helping you with independence. It's not helping you relitigate the 2020 election. Like, Ben Shapiro talks about this all the time, but it is what it is. The idea that Donald Trump really thinks he lost. Bowser, shut the fuck up. Sorry, Bowser, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right, buddy. It's all right.
Trump promised complete exoneration and concluded, quote, they never went after those that rigged the election. They only went after those that fought to find the riggers, all caps.
And that, my friends, is how Donald Trump creates a firestorm and creates smoke and fire where, like, is that controversial to you? Do you understand his intent? What he's saying here? I think, I don't know. What is he referring to? Clearly, the race hustlers and the Marxists in the Democratic Party use anything to call Trump a racist again and again and again and again and again. And this is the fun of politics. This is the fun of the collective Marxist left that I shit all over, because they're just not serious. They take everything and they turn it into in their playground, right? All of a sudden, Trump, he's not really saying that. Clearly, this is a dog whistle, and it's so fucking retarded.
More on the coded racism of riggers in a moment. By Thursday, this plan to release that report was actually scrapped. The press conference was canceled. Trump posted again that his lawyers advise that they should release this information through legal filings, so the press conference is not going to happen on Monday. So what exactly is the evidence that they have? We'll have to wait and see. Perhaps they have something. We know that they've taken a lot of cases to court and have not had success there.
Bowser.
People who will defend those cases will say that's because the cases were dismissed on procedural grounds rather than evaluations of the merit. So if they have something that we haven't seen yet, maybe that's how they come out of the case, is just an outright acquittal. But we'll have to see what they present. But of course, the bait was taken. And so commentators...
No, of course. No, indeed, sir. The bait was taken. And it was entertaining to watch. Because anything Trump does, dude, the man just sucks all the oxygen out of the room. People don't care. I mean, they thought, we'll indict him. Maybe they thought this would actually help him, and they think that this will hurt him in the general election, and I actually fucking have sympathy to that. Fuck the Democrats and all, and fuck what they're doing, but, there's some logic behind there. And, dude, this is the fourth indictment. Like, we live in times I had never thought I would see in my country where, like, the Department of Justice is going after the top political rival of Joe Biden, and they're trying to be like, well, Joe didn't know anything about it. It's completely, like, you didn't think that Merrick Garland ran this past his boss? Like, yeah, this has never been done, and this could cause, like, he just didn't know. He just did it without even bringing it up to his boss, and his boss, like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Like, I'm watching the fall of my country into some place that isn't going to end well, for sure. Like, this isn't going to go well. It's just crazy that the fourth indictment of a former president, and not just a former president, a dude that's leading the Republican primary. And, like, Trump owns the party now at this point. Like, it's...
Commentators on CNN and MSNBC had to feign outrage about how racist the term rigger is. So on CNN, former Trump communications aide, this is a former Trump person, Alyssa Farah, I'm not sure. But she said Trump wasn't just using coded racist language. He was shouting racism with a bullhorn. This segment included the additional commentary of Keith Boykin, who is a former Clinton White House aide.
Trump on Truth Social yesterday wrote, quote, they never went after those that rigged the election. They only went after those that fought to find the riggers. A word that I'm not particularly familiar with. Riggers. Keith Boykin, a Democratic
there's no context there. No, it has to be blown out of proportion to mean, oh, it sounds like... Okay. This is our body politic, folks. This is Politico. This is where we are. God. Sometimes the left are comical in their outrage.
Commentator. He took issue with that term. Take a listen.
And he wants to find the riggers, his word, not mine, who stole the election from him. Rigger, please.
With Trump, you don't need to look for a dog whistle. It's a bullhorn when it comes to race, and I do think that's deliberate. This is taking place just outside of Atlanta. When you saw the courtroom, it was a lot of black men and women who were serving in that courtroom. The fact that he's introducing race into this prosecution surprises me. It's disgusting. It's textbook Donald Trump, but it comes as no surprise.
It surprises me, but it comes as no surprise. A bona fide genius right there. I don't know. I mean, yeah. He does this so that everybody talks about him.
After this next clip, I want to talk about his level of intent, because I will grant their point that there's got to be some trolling intent there.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't care. It's fun to watch. It is fun to watch.
Of course, but this is what he does, you know.
But yeah, for this lady, if Trump has been overtly and disgustingly racist, and it doesn't surprise you, well, it also surprises you. Why did you work for this disgusting racist administration for over 3 years? That lady was Mike Pence's vice presidential press secretary from 2017 to 2019. Then she was the Defense Department press secretary from 2019 to 2020. Then in 2020, through the election, she was the White House Director of Strategic Communications. She was in charge of Trump's strategic communications, the same strategic communications she now says have long been racist, even though for some time...
Yeah, she was in charge of the White House comms office, so that's interesting.
She's garbage. Should have fired her. Did away with her. Clearly.
I don't know. If I remember this lady correctly, she, resigned after January 6th, and she, I don't know, was going to be one of the good Trump people. It's, doesn't matter. The left is going to hate you because you work for him. But whatever. People have their opinions about January 6th and Trump, and she clearly, I don't know, jumped on the anti-Trump bandwagon. And is quick to call him a racist because he is accusing people. He's used these terms. Dude, our politics is so fucking Marxist in nature and, cultural, gender and identity politics take center stage. The riggers, all of a sudden everyone's like, that sounds like, oh, of course.
They were under her oversight. That's very odd.
It's so stupid, dude. It's so fucking dumb.
Anyway, this sort of commentary from Al Sharpton is also very surprising. But when you think about it, it's not surprising at all that sort of commentary would come from him. Really,
no, not surprising in the
Al
least.
Sharpton on MSNBC this week said, "Of course, rigor is a racist word because, after all, it rhymes with
his name is Al Sharpton.
well, you know what."
Say that. Yeah.
Donald Trump himself, their leader, using the term riggers, which clearly rhymes with the N-word. I mean, this is not 10 years ago. Is this the kind of party the Republicans want to show the country that they are? There's no wonder independents are running away from them. To identify with blatant racism and blatant violence.
Independents, God, fucking fence sitters. They're like, I might vote commie, I might not. I don't know. Orange man bad. I don't know. Most independents, though, that I meet, like, personally, anecdotally, are not really independents. They just, like, don't want to be associated with a party. But it's like, yeah, but you vote Democrat every time, right? And they're like, yeah. You vote Republican every time, right? Like, yeah. But I'm an independent. I just don't like the labels and stuff like that. So, I don't know. When people talk about independence and how they vote, it's like, maybe a third of independents are really independents, if that makes sense. It does.
It's not the party that we need. And I've never been a Republican, never leaned their way. But we need a two-party system. But we don't need one that prides itself in bigotry.
Yeah.
That's funny coming from him, a lifelong race baiter. What an asshole.
Thank you, Blonde.
Well, I love that, too. Listen, we need a two-party system, but one in which the party I don't like is completely submissive to the party that I do and operates according to the rules that I set. That's the two-party system that we need. Thus, enter rigor into the hall of hilarious, newly racist terms like jogger and all the rest of them. But according to these new rules, if we're going to enforce the rules, I think we have to be fair here. First of all, on notice for their blatant racism are actual riggers, as in guys who install and repair rigging at manufacturing plants and other sites. Got to change the name of your job, okay?
Obviously.
Also, Tigger of Winnie the Pooh fame. Got to change his name.
We need to go through.
Disney cannot keep getting away with this.
That should be forbidden. What do you mean? Did you just say? What do you mean bigger? What do you mean Tigger? That shit is racist. It's all fuck. It's got to go. We have to change our whole goddamn language. No, it's so retarded. It's so retarded, and it's so like. We live in fucking ridiculous times. Do you understand? With ridiculous people. Just mock them. Just God help us. Like this culture, Sodom and Gomorrah. This fucking. It's like, God help us, please.
And just down I-90 west of me, between us right now.
Oh, the diggers.
Well, I guess technically, but still, on I-90 between. Your usual home and where I am right now. The Montana Tech Diggers college football team in Butte must also change their name. It's very disrespectful to all the diggers who play on that team and have never once considered it racist until now.
What about chiggers?
Is that a bug?
Those racist bugs.
A nasty little bug.
I don't know what chiggers are. I guess that sounds familiar. But
you don't know what
as we well, before we move on, I did want to talk about just the level of intent. I do think that Trump knows that if he says riggers, they'll lose their minds, and I think there's an intent level there. But that is what makes him such an entertaining politician: the ability to enrage people into insanity like this while doing things that are actually completely innocent and defensible. But he's now got the move here to get people to say that you can't say words that rhyme with bad words. That is truly a clinic. There have been many entertaining Trump moves.
No, it's Orwellian. It's and people just melt down over Trump. They just do. It's like crazy, man. And like I said, he just pisses off all the right people, and he always has. Like I think, was it Michael Moore? And he said that Donald Trump is a giant pulsating middle finger to all the people we hate on the left, spreading degeneracy and fucking communism, and that want to open the borders and indoctrinate your kids. Donald Trump is a giant pulsating middle finger He just pisses off all the right people. And, like, it doesn't even matter what he says. Like, they'll take him talking about people rigging the election. He uses the word riggers, and they're like, that's racist. But of course they would. Of course they would. And they do. So, this is just so much fun, dude. I've never had so much fun in my life in politics until Donald Trump came along. And I used to be a Democrat. In fact, the first time I ever voted Republican was in a Republican primary voting for Donald Trump. And, like, yeah, that's crazy, dude. Like, if you'd have told the younger me that you're going to be a Republican, but if you would have told the younger me that, well, they're going to start fucking all this shit in schools and the LGBT and all that, I'd have been like, yeah, that's crazy. How in the hell could anyone support that? Even me is fuck. Like, what made me against Republicans to begin with? Like, I think that George W. Bush did so much goddamn damage to the Republican Party. Me getting into politics was just my hatred of George Bush and the Iraq War and, like, I don't know, the surveillance state that was set up, the Patriot Act and the Department of Homeland Security, and, like, yeah, I turned out being right about all of my criticisms when I was on the left. I mean, look at today. You got the FBI going to, like, school board meetings and shit because their kids or their parents are pissed about the kids, the LGBTQ transing of the kids and all that shit. And the FBI is getting involved, and I was like, yeah, anti-terrorism task force involved at school board meetings. And I was, like, making criticisms like, do you know what terrorism is defined as in the Patriot Act? It's defined as any attempt to influence government policy by intimidation or coercion, which is really vague, right? Really vague. And I was, like, against it. And at the time, Republicans were like, well, you got nothing to hide. And I was like, that's fucking retarded. No. You shouldn't just... And now the Republicans are being targeted by legislation. It's not like Democrats didn't approve of it. But, I mean, the left in the early 2000s and the mid-2000s, like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened to them. Now they're pro-war. They're pro-corporation. They're anti-free speech. They say they don't give a fuck about your wages. They say they do, but then they'll flood the country with foreigners, flood the labor market, drive down everyone's way. I don't know what the fuck happened to these people. But Donald Trump, the moment he came down that escalator, I was like, all right, fuck. I was already done with the Democrats at that point, but he's so fun. He's so fun.
Moves throughout all the years. I would rank riggers top 5.
At the top.
Top 5.
At the top. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
It's a good one. I mean, you would agree that he's not sitting posting that completely oblivious to the idea that rigor sounds close to, right? Like, there's got to be some intent there.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. Either way,
okay.
The reaction is...
just a couple of notes on Trump politics before we take a break. It is now reported that Trump, according to an anonymous source, one of the famous anonymous sources speaking with the New York Times, Trump is not expected and does not plan to attend Wednesday night's first Republican primary debate. Instead, he will interview with Tucker.
He would, though.
And I would assume it'll
I
probably
have
be...
mixed feelings about this.
I would love to see Trump on the stage. I think everybody would from an entertainment perspective. From the political perspective, I completely understand why you don't show up, because he only stands to lose. So...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Tucker viewership is like compared to the Fox News show. He's doing very well, right?
I would get, especially if Trump shows up, I would guess that the Tucker interview will get more viewership than the now meaningless, effectively, Republican primary debate on a Wednesday in the summer.
But the debate was so much fodder. It was...
I do want to
so much content to discuss, and I miss the lulls of Trump on a debate stage. It'll never be as good as it was before.
Probably not, but
you can't rise to that level again. I think this is probably a very smart move.
Whether it is the intent of those bringing the charges or it is just an incidental effect, Trump, as a result of these indictments, is actually widening his lead. So new polling from CBS and YouGov shows Trump's lead.
Which is crazy. Like, I mean, just think about this. Step outside of, like, what you know right now. And, like, just imagine, like, 10, 15 years ago, like, the idea that, yeah, this is the 4th indictment of President Bush, or the 4th indictment of Obama, or the 4th, you know, like, well, a Clinton, or say, like, it would be crazy. Like, you never thought this would happen, right? I mean, if you keep up with this shit and you know anything about like civics and American history and, you know, like I love history, I'm a student of history, it's crazy what we're seeing happen. And it's just like Donald Trump. Like first of all, who the fuck ever thought 10, 20 years ago Donald Trump would be the president of the United States? Like, don't raise your hand. No, you didn't think that. No one fucking thought that. But we live in fucking just crazy ass times. Like, Donald Trump, you would think like anyone else. Trump is just a fucking enigma. The guy, Teflon Don, like I don't know. Something about him is he's the most intriguing political figure ever. I'm not just talking about my lifetime. I'm talking about I know I'm a student of history. Like, you want to talk about Andrew Jackson? Yeah, I talk all day. You want to talk like just like name another figure like outside of Donald Trump who's just like, I don't know. The man is the most interesting person in American politics, bar none. Bar none.
Is actually at what might be all-time heights, at least for this particular election cycle, among Republican voters. Presumably, again, driven by the series of indictments. So the results from this particular poll published over the weekend, 62% of likely GOP primary voters say they will support Trump. DeSantis is still way back at 16%, and everybody else is in single digits. And so this is...
I like DeSantis. I think he might even be a better candidate. I tell people that, man. I like whatever, man. I like people are so fucking. They love Trump, and I love Trump. Don't get me wrong, but like I have my doubts whether all these indictments and all this shit like is gonna bog down Trump. Can he beat Biden? I don't know. I honestly think like Ramaswamy, or I love Ramaswamy. In fact, I like DeSantis. I think he's a great governor. I hate the right is like shitting on him because of what's happening to Trump. But Trump, you know, whatever, man. You say what you will. I want to see Trump back in the White House. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a Trump guy. I'm MAGA, fucking through and through. But like, I have my doubts if Trump wins the primary that he can win the general election. And I think that, I really do think DeSantis or Ramaswamy would have a better shot. That doesn't mean Trump can't win. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, people I already know are going to get pissed off or whatnot. I'm just being honest with you people. I like Trump. What's happening to him is unfair. I would rather see Trump in the White House because I know dark MAGA would ensue. I know this dude would fire everyone. There would be Trump's revenge. And I want to see it. I want to see him build the wall. I want to see him do all this shit. And he would. Like, it'd be amazing. But if I'm being realistic, and, you know, you live in a nation of normies that fucking suck. And people that are just fucking retarded, and they'll be like, well, he's an insurrectionist, he is, you know, he's got all these indictments, and they don't know, don't care, fuck him, I'm not gonna vote for him. He's, you know what they say about Trump, like the favorability ratings of Trump and Biden are like hilariously low, but that looks like what we're gonna do again. We're gonna have another rematch, and I don't know. I hope to God Trump can win. I really do. I want Trump to get in there, but if you're asking me honestly who would be a better candidate to run against Biden, it's not Trump. It's just not. Like, and you'll be like, yeah, well, I've listened to Ben Shapiro, and he pretty much says the same thing, but he's not wrong. And God bless Trump. Like, I hope to God Trump can win. It looks like he's going to be the nominee, so, like, he has to win. This country is going to shit. But if you wanted my honest opinion, I just told you.
Create when I tune into the debate, I'm still going to watch for this reason. It creates an interesting strategic choice for those on the debate stage. Do you attack Trump and piss off his giant voter base while he isn't even there to defend himself, which will just piss them off even more? Or do you leave Trump alone, or maybe even defend Trump on the basis of these indictments, which raises the question...
But really what's interesting is, like, everyone on the debate stage, presumably, is going to be attacking DeSantis. Like, so this could be really interesting. But like the elephant in the room, pun intended, because it's Republican. Anyway, is that Trump's not there, and the whole conversation is going to be about Trump in one way or another. He's running away with the like the primary vote. Like the guy is again, the man is a fucking legend. Like everything you're watching right now, it's not done. You're right. The story isn't told. The 2024 election hasn't happened. The Republican primary isn't over. But the legend is Donald Trump. His meteoric rise to power in 2016, and he dominates the party. Like, he just does. Like, Trump is, like, a figure in political politics we haven't seen in, like, God. Like, remember in 2016, they were like, Trump has a 99% chance of losing to Hillary Clinton, and he won. And then, like, through the ups and downs of all of it, dude, it's been chaotic, it's been hilarious, it's been, like, entertaining. Like, it's just, here we are. And, like, Trump is the king. He owns this party. He's taken over the party in a hostile takeover. And look at that. The newest poll is 62%. Like, indictment after indictment after indictment. And it doesn't matter. Like, whether this will help in the general election or not, I literally just told you what I think about that, but...
Why are you even running against him then? And I think the question primarily is for Ron DeSantis, who's the only halfway realistic opposition to Trump. I know that people will say that Ramaswamy has looked pretty good in some polls.
I predict that Ramaswamy is going to wipe the floor on the debate stage. That's my prediction. The guy is bright. I made videos on him. I like the guy. I like him a lot. Yeah. I mean, the guy is just quick on his feet. I like him, and he says shit that is like is controversial and shit that he knows isn't gonna happen. You know, when he talks about like a draft or like signing up for, or at least taking a citizenship test that any other like immigrant into the country to get citizenship would have to take, and then you get to like, I mean, that's not gonna happen. There's all sorts of legal reasons that's not gonna happen, but it is interesting. It's like, I don't know, some abstract like idealism that attracts me to that. Like, even if it's not going to happen, it's like a good idea that, yeah, maybe you shouldn't just be given the... But I'm an extremist. I think we should repeal the 19th Amendment. So...
Maybe he is gaining support if you look at the aggregated polling, but I think realistically DeSantis is the only one who has anything close to an opportunity to take out Trump, and I don't think his opportunity is particularly realistic at this point. But DeSantis has, I think it's fair to say, he's underperformed in his first months of campaigning.
And I don't know who would argue against that.
If he doesn't handle this well,
yeah, clearly
he's got a lot of risk here, and I don't mean risk like, oh, you might lose the primary, because that seems like a foregone conclusion. There's a lot of his political future that's at stake now. And as this goes on, I know there's a lot of time until the primary, but this looks like a mistaken calculation, believing that Trump was more vulnerable than he was.
Yeah. Again, I like DeSantis. I am not going to say anything bad about DeSantis. I see Tim Pool kicking DeSantis, and he has his reasons, and I don't necessarily disagree with them. But I don't know. DeSantis is in a tough spot, and I think he's the best governor in the country. I think he's done a great job with Florida. And I honestly, if you like put a gun to my, I'm like, yeah, he would probably be a better candidate than Trump. Again, it doesn't mean I'm not going to vote for Trump. Like I'm a Trump guy. I want to see dark. Like I explained this already, but like really, like I hate that like so many people in my comments in my videos when I say anything nice about DeSantis or something, they're like they just I don't know, MAGA and like. Whatever, man. You can think what you want. This is a primary. Things are going to get ugly. But me, personally, I like Ron DeSantis. I think he's a great governor. I think he'd make a great president. And I don't give a fuck. You like Trump. I like Trump. I love Trump. I'm voting for Trump. Trump clearly is going to win this nomination. But I don't like the smearing and the shitting all over DeSantis. And you can criticize his campaign. You could say he's not charismatic. I mean, all that's true. He runs away from unfriendly media. There's all sorts of problems with DeSantis' campaign, but him personally and him what he's done as governor of Florida, I think he's a great politician. I think he's like, I just don't like people unnecessarily shitting on Ron DeSantis. And again, I think he would be a better candidate than Trump. He'd probably be more likely to beat Biden than Trump. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think he's going to win. I don't think it's going to happen. And you can make whatever criticisms you want of Ron DeSantis, but like, I think he's a good governor and a solid Republican. And I don't know. I saw Laura Loomer shitting all over him on Timcast the other day, and it's like, yeah, those are legitimate criticisms, but still, like, in a national election, I don't know.
Push this, and it might be futile to do so. The more you piss off people who would be your base in the future.
Yeah.
And I know a lot changes in 4 years, 8 years. Maybe people who hate Ron DeSantis now because of this come around then. But it does seem like it's a big risk for him to keep pushing this hard because there's a lot of damage that can happen and very little gain. And so that's what he risks if he goes on the stage and pisses off all the Trump people. But if you're not willing to separate yourself from Trump, why are you even running? And you can see the...
Apparently there's some memo that came out that said that he's going to defend Trump and hammer, quote, hammer Ramaswamy. Which honestly, I from what I've seen of Ramaswamy, this is not going to go well for him if that's the plan. I mean, maybe he has it thought out and, you know, he's like, but Ramaswamy is quick on his feet. The dude is smart. I would like to see Ramaswamy be president before DeSantis, honestly. But, like, DeSantis is a solid governor. Ramaswamy, if it's not Trump, it should be Ramaswamy. And if it is Trump, I think Trump is pretty much already, I predicted, like, a month ago that Ramaswamy would be Trump's running mate. And, yeah, we'll see. So, write that down if I end up being right.
Lack of, I think, a coherent strategy from Ron DeSantis is having a lot of consequence. Back in February, DeSantis hit a high in the aggregated polling of about 31% support. That was before he was even running formally, and Trump was all the way down in 45, 46 range, so it was plausible to see DeSantis making up that gap. In the months since, DeSantis has fallen down to below 15% aggregate support, and Trump is riding all the way up at 55. In this particular poll that we just saw, 62. A lot of the support that DeSantis has lost has gone, it's really split between Ramaswamy and...
What he's saying, though, essentially is like, DeSantis, if he wants a political future, needs to tread carefully here in this debate. And from what I've read, there was like some leaked shit from some super PAC that was like pro-DeSantis super PAC that said they needed to defend Trump and attack, or they said, quote, hammer Ramaswamy, which seems like a reasonable... I just don't think it's going to go well for him because Ramaswamy is so smart. The guy... Honestly, if it's not Trump, it should be Ramaswamy. And I don't even like... I mean, I'm... Whatever. People say I'm fucking... What? You can say whatever the fuck you want about me. I'm honest with you people. You want to hear me talk about the caste system? You want to hear me talk about, like, Indian culture? Ramaswamy is American. His parents were immigrants from India. He's Hindu. That's, like, the one thing that I, like, question about. I'm like, you're Hindu? I'm like, okay. I don't know. I'd rather a Christian be in there. But Donald Trump isn't exactly a preacher or Christian. I don't know. I actually... Nah, fuck that. Like, whatever. That's, like, some minor criticism. And he's, like, addressed it, you know. But, yeah. Trump... Ramaswamy, and then DeSantis.
Trump. And so the question is DeSantis going to get aggressive, or is he just going to kind of wait? Seems like he's kind of sitting around waiting for someone else to mess up, or he's waiting for Trump to go to jail, or he's waiting
Perhaps that's a good tactic, though, because he doesn't want to... He's clearly concerned with alienating his base.
Yeah.
I don't know. My point is like, people shit on Ron DeSantis, the MAGA people, and I am a MAGA person, like, but I just don't like it. I'm just like, no, dude. DeSantis was a good governor. He's, like, done a great job in Florida. He would make a great president, and if you ask me, he'd probably have a better shot of beating Biden than Trump. Yeah, I love Trump, and I would prefer Trump get in there, but just my political analysis, that's my political analysis.
Oh, maybe that is a good tactic. Maybe he's like, well, maybe this Trump indictment will take care of itself. And I could swoop in, be a Republican white knight for all these people.
I think you got to be really careful about that, because if you read the polling here and you see that the more they indict, the stronger Trump becomes, what do you think happens if he goes to jail? I mean, people are going to be, and I don't mean the necessarily average voter, the independent voter. I mean the likely Republican voter is more hardened. And that's Ron DeSantis' task number one before he even gets to the general. You got to beat Trump.
Yeah.
And
It's not going to happen.
I just don't
It's not
see.
gonna happen, homie.
I don't have a hatred for Ron DeSantis. I recognize the scenario here that the more they go after Trump, the more support Trump gets. And we're 6 months out, but the path for DeSantis I don't see it. I don't see it developing.
I don't see how he could possibly pull this off.
But he'll try to make the case, and I'm very surprised by that, because
I agree with their assessment. It's just like Trump he owns the party. DeSantis, he's a great governor. He would make a great president. I think he'd probably be even a better, if less entertaining candidate than Trump. But I don't necessarily trust that when he gets in the White House, he's gonna, like, he says he's Trump without the baggage and shit. But like, is he really? Like, Trump, I always feels like honest with his intentions, even if, like, he wrote a book, right? What was it called? The Art of the Deal. In the early 90s or late 80s or something, and he used this term. What was it called? It was like he's like truthful hyperbole or something like that. And it's like Trump is a master at that. Like, you get what he's saying, you read between the lines, you get, like, he's being truthful, but he's being, like, a hyperbolic, like, truthful hyperbole. And, like, I don't know. Trump, if he gets back in the White House, it will be dark MAGA. It'll be everything we wanted. There's no change. He can't get elected for a third term. So, and this is typical of all presidents, right? Like, Barack Obama famously on an open mic told Medved, I think his name was, he was technically the president of Russia at the time, because there's, like, term limits where the president can only serve, like, 2 terms or 3 terms in Russia. Vladimir Putin obviously is. It was funny because Obama was telling who was supposed to be the president, right? Who was supposed to be the leader of Russia. He told him, tell Vladimir Putin that I'll be more flexible after I get reelected. Meaning, like, presidents can do things in their second term that they can't do in their first. And this is true for all presidents. And Trump would be no different. So, like, there's no, like, if you can't get reelected, you can't come up on the ballot again. Then you're going to do everything you fucking want, and you're going to be like, fuck the courts. Obama did this. Obama, like, every president does this on their second term. They push harder for everything. Like DACA, right, happened after Obama got reelected, not before, because it would have been controversial and might have fucked up his reelection bid. But Trump, he gets in there, and that's why they're trying to throw him in jail. They're throwing everything at him, including the kitchen sink, because this fucking guy has said,
Dark MAGA, I go in there, the seal's been broken, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, his entire fucking family, they're going to jail.
And, like, he's talking about firing everyone. So the deep state, as it's called, people say, like, the deep state, they have, like, an interest, and they are going overdrive. Put everything they can to take down Trump. And it is Shakespearean. It is very interesting times we live in, my friends. Very interesting indeed. And it could unravel the entire country. Like, the stakes are high. For them, for us, for freedom, for America. And I don't know. DeSantis, Trump, Ramaswamy. Maybe we'll just get 4 more years of Biden and we're doomed.
Early part of the year, I thought, I think some people are kind of sick of Trump, and I think maybe there might be an opportunity for another challenger, and maybe DeSantis is that guy. Has not panned out that way.
Yeah, it hasn't panned out that well. And I'm going to end the video here, because I think it's gone on long enough, and, whatever. Anyone that got through this far, I really appreciate it. I really do. Personally, in my own, I don't know. Times are tough for everybody. I hope to put out another video today that's going to be a little different. It's not going to be political. And I hope, like, I don't know, it helps grow my channel. I hope, I don't fucking know, man. I just do this for a hobby. But now that I've got like my laptop and video editing software, and I want to like buy some software that'll look better and be easier to use. But anyway, I hope to put out another video today, and hopefully someone appreciates the intro of this video. I haven't made it yet. Like, as I'm speaking, I was like, I'll do that later, and you'll see the first couple of minutes of this video. Like, my video editing, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it makes my channel, like, more enjoyable. I'm going to try to make things, like, more, I don't know, visually interesting for anyone that watches my videos. And I'm going to try to learn how to tag my videos correctly. God, I'm just, like, whining. I'm whining. But I really do appreciate anyone that got through this far. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you in my next video. You have a good one. Thank you. Bye.